prosperity and our power. But he had us mentally believing that he got this all set up and it's all organized and he got everything under control. So the point that I'm making is he's lost his control, of which he never really had, but he had some form of control that's now starting to slip. He had some minuscule illusion of power, and even that illusion is starting to slip. So once he loses control over the land, now it's time for us to come into power. It's time for us to step into our positions of controlling our community. Everything we wanted is available now. It's a perfect opportunity for the real guys and goddesses to step up. He's saying, I don't have the manpower to control the land anymore, to control the small portion of the land. I can't do it anymore. So now, that's our time. Give you an example. Let's look at real estate. If the property is in a so-called bad area, then it sells for less. Do you see the point I'm making? Let's look at that, because I got to break down economy. We got to talk about the economy in this particular lecture. I got to really crack through the matrix of how we see economics. Now, if it's in a bad area, the property sells for less. Why is that? It could be just as nice as a house that's in a good area. It could have a beautiful structure. If you're going inside, it could be decked out. All the fixtures, the square footage, it could be beautiful. But if it's in a bad neighborhood, it's cheaper. This is the reason for that. First of all, in order for the European to convey a deed is a legal document that's supposed to convey ownership or title to property. For him to convey a deed, he has to actually own it. Rockefeller said something deep. He said that control is greater than ownership. Because he said you can own whatever you want, but if you can't control it, he who controls it has no power. So he knows that I don't have any control over these so-called bad areas and neighborhoods. So I can't convey you a real deed. Because Pookie G and Lil Ray Ray can walk up in your house and steal everything you got. That the gangbangers can run you off your block. That the drug dealers have a stronghold in their community. So I can't even convey you a real deed. So that's actually fraudulence. He's actually conveying you a deed based upon fraud. Because even though they say the house is yours, you can't hold it down. You got to look out the window every 5 minutes, watch your car. You got to put up 5 or 6 gates. If you own the house and it's yours, why do you need so much security? Because you have the security illusion that you have clear title to the property. Do you understand the point I'm making? Now, I'm just talking a little bit about real estate law.
What about that foundation, the dirt?
Clear title is a title that is uncontestable or unchallengeable by any other parties other than those on the deed. That's what clear title is according to real estate. Now, if people are trying to break in your house and you scared to walk outside your door and walk up to the corner, you ain't got a clear title. Your very existence in that area is being contested. The drug dealer runs your block. When they start shooting, you got to go in the house. If it get too bad in the neighborhood, you got to leave the neighborhood for a little while. So the reality is you don't even have a secure dwelling, but you pay a mortgage on it. You're renting it from somebody who never had control over it. But they told you, yeah, I got it. Everything's under control. But you in the house on some military stuff. You got to have 6 or 7 guns. Well, if he conveyed peaceful title and ownership to you, why do you need so much security? Guns, and now you need ADT, and this security company, and that security company. You need a dog to watch the house. That sounds like Iraq. They making you pay a mortgage to live in Afghanistan under the Al-Qaeda. Literally.
Well, Bosnia.
They didn't rent you a cave, and you at war. So my point is that they never regulated the land and had the type of control over the land to convey title. So that's fraudulence anyway. But we will endure any hardship to keep that white boy sitting up there in a good position. We the ones are actually holding it down. When somebody come in on your land and they're so-called trespassing, you can't call George Bush in the White House. Do you see the point I'm making? You are the one that's really on post and on position. You're in the position of immediate warfare. So my point is, the European never controlled and regulated the earth, but he pretends like he do, through conveying titles and deeds of ownership. But he don't have the manpower nor the resources to convey clear title to anybody. Do you see the point I'm making? Especially black people in a black community. He never had that type of control. Literally. He never had that type of control. So my point is, the European has never ever really been in a real position of power. But he has been able to create that illusion to us. And we have bought into that illusion. And the belief in that illusion is what his system was. His system was perpetuated by our belief in it. That's it. In reality, just as I just given an example, we have always been on the front line in our community. Our relatives getting shot, our family members getting killed, the harassment in our communities, we have always been on the front line in our communities. We just never realized it. Literally. We have bought a good argument. You say, well, this is my neighborhood. That thug say, I beg to differ. That's a good theoretical and philosophical argument, even though you got a title and a deed, and you paying the mortgage. But tell the gang leader that. This is my land. Tell all them thugs that's bunched up on the corner that this your land. That's your house when they pass through it and jump the gate running for the police. Let's look at this. He does not have the ability to convey the title to us. Our only security is our ability to establish a working and harmonious relationship with our own people. Listen, the only security you have in your community, whether you're paying a deed or not, is to establish a working, harmonious relationship with your own people. If you don't establish that, I don't care what's written on the deed. They coming for you. Am I correct? I don't care what your deeds say. I don't care how much your mortgage is. If you can't establish a working and harmonious relationship with them people in your community, they get in your house first. It's a reality. So the European never had the position of power that he has been set up to have in the first place. We just have not been able to see this real relationship in our community, because we've been looking at him as being in some power or some organized system. We've been looking at that. They evict us out of our houses. Say, you gotta go. But after they evict you, then the drug dealers come and take them over. The crackhead turn it into a smokehouse. Now look at that. Why was you evicted from your house if the crackheads is gonna come and turn it into a smokehouse and it's gonna turn into a crack house? Why did they evict the people in the first place? They never had the power to control it because they don't have an army to sit and watch no house 24 hours a day. It's not enough police officers and Cook County sheriffs in the world to sit and watch every house 24 hours a day. But they just need enough power to present a fear tactic to you. Do you understand the point I'm making? To keep you indoctrinated into the system. The crackhead's not afraid of them. The drug dealers aren't afraid of him. But us, the taxpayers, the working class, the working people, are afraid of the European. You come tell a crackhead he got to leave, he go and come right on back. You tell one of us we got to leave, we worried about all our stuff and this and that, and we worried about our position and our image and all this type of stuff that he done made up. So he uses that to keep power over us. He don't care about who's in the house. That's why the crackheads come on in there and chill out. He really don't care. He just want to present a good enough image to you. Do you see the point I'm making? To keep you indoctrinated within the system of things. Ain't that deep? Literally, that's the only purpose of it. These military people that are in our community, they're not meant to protect. How you sitting up and Dunkin' Donuts, binging on donuts, you going to protect somebody?
And coffee.
Literally. How do you do it? They're not really set up to protect us. They're a propaganda tool to get of a fear tactic